Well, good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Tuesday, January 24th. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. I do hope everyone's getting off to a great start this morning. I know we have an awesome show set up for you today, so I hope you stick with us through it. And if you can't, well, be sure to revisit it a little bit later. So let me share with you today we have Emmy Award-winning news and sports broadcaster. He also happens to be an author, columnist, and public speaker. I am talking about Joe Dubin, who'll be joining us in a few short minutes to talk about how he's controlling his narrative, which also happens to be the message in one of his books. We'll talk to him about his two books, a recent recognition by Music City, that and then some coming up a little bit later with Joe Dubin. And then original music, no covers, more than 1,000 local artists. I am talking about Radio Sobro. It's a streaming radio channel with exclusive features from Music City's singer-songwriter community. So a little later, we will hear from its co-founder, Kyle Creamer, on how Radio Sobro got its start, its uniqueness, and much more. And then also today, we will visit with Main Street Media's Second Cup of Joe with Joe Elvis and John Dwyer. They recently sat down with veteran journalist Demetria Kaladimos. She shares and reflects her time and her chemistry with the late and great Dan Miller. But first, we're going to get a check of some of our headlines this morning that you can see in our papers. First being a Nashville man who was wrongfully arrested in 2019. Well, he could receive a settlement claim of $236,000. Now, this is the amount that the Metro Council voted this week to be paid by the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department. This is the third settlement from Metro's Judgment and Losses Fund, which actually maintains a balance of $16,750,985. Now, for the full story on the arrest and what happened surrounding it, head to mainstreetnashville.com. Also, what does the future hold for the Veterans Administration Golf Course in Murfreesboro, Tennessee? Two possible uses include expanding clinical operations for long-term care residents and increasing adaptive sports activities. Right now, VA administrators, they're working on hiring a park planner to do a survey to determine which would best maximize the space. You can read more on this story at murfreesboropost.com. So discussions in the works right now on what would draw in more tourists to the city of Mount Juliet. City commissioners there are considering tweaking a zoning ordinance to create a recreational district. The second reading on this inclusion of the recreational district and seasonal rental units within 1 mile of Old Hickory Lake and Percy Priest Lake, that happened last night. Get the very latest developments on this story by visiting wilsonpost.com. Well, it sure does seem like a lovely morning out there today. As I made my way in, I was enjoying that sunshine. So hopefully that will continue for us today. We're going to check in with Justin Kulik this morning to see what's ahead this afternoon when you're leaving wherever you are today. But first off, of course, we always like our funny with Justin. So what do you have for us this morning?
This is what I have for you today, Stephanie. It's hilarious. I promise you it's funny. All right. So it was so hot that the bee's perm had become extremely unmanageable. So the bee turned into a frisbee.
Is this good? It's
good. Tough crowd out there. All right. Let's just go
ahead. It's good. I like the one that you practiced with earlier.
Thank you for being so considerate with a bad joke there. I appreciate that. Your weather for today is a wind advisory. So I'm advising you guys, there's wind out there. The high is 52 with a mix of clouds. Sun during the morning will give away the cloudy skies this afternoon. Winds light and variable. As we move into the afternoon, though, it's going to be cloudy with rain. 100% chance of rain, actually, as we go into the night. So later on, get your raincoat. Right now, it actually feels pretty great outside. Not going to lie. So that's your weather for today.
Absolutely no complaints from me right now. Justin, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.
Likewise.
And right now, we are looking forward to visiting with Joe Dubin. I don't want to waste any time getting to him because I'm so excited. I have yet to have the pleasure of meeting you, Joe, in person, but excited about seeing you here this morning. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Stephanie, thank you. It's going great. Show looks great. My goodness, it looks 1,000 times better than when I did the show. So congratulations, and I'm glad you kept Justin around because I miss him big time. So I'm going to give him a big old hug.
He is such a sweet guy. No, we are happy to still have him around and doing our weather and our joke of the day, which is always, again, a comical. But I've watched so many of your reports. And again, I know your name just from growing up here in Middle Tennessee. So what are you doing right now? What have you been up to? I know you have 2 books that have come out.
Yeah, I've written 2 books. They've been going great. I thought I would only sell 5 of them, but I mean, they just took off. Both books did. The first book I released back in September called Create the Chaos. And this book was, I've been fortunate to be writing for Main Street for the last 3.5 years, a weekly article. It's great. In fact, I get more feedback from my articles in Main Street and all the papers than I ever did working in TV. It's crazy. People still love to read the paper. People still love to see articles. And, people are like, well, that's all going away. False. People love to read. They love to read the paper. So anyway, I just took a bunch of articles that I've written and some that I had on my blog, and I wanted to get a certain theme. And this was when I started out working in TV, I was a cameraman, but I wanted to get a job on air and on TV, and I couldn't do it. So I would send out probably 60 resume tapes. For those that don't know, in TV, you send out resume tapes that people get, and they look, back then there were DVDs, you pop them in and see. Now it's all YouTube links. But Stephanie, I was getting nowhere. Nobody was right, because everybody kept telling me, well, Joe, you need to do it this way. But a voice in my head was like, Joe, you need to do it this way. And look at this path that I have. Well, this path was broken. It was muddy. There were sticks everywhere. It was knocked down. Nobody went down that path. So I go down this path, which is clean and nice. I don't get a job. So I go down this other path. I redid my resume tape, and I created this wonderful chaos. I started writing more. I put this resume tape out more. I started volunteering more, doing more things around the community. And I got recognized. I got noticed. So I controlled my own narrative. I created my own chaos. And I sent out 10 resume tapes. I got 6 job offers because I redid something differently. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's what I was doing. I was doing that same thing. I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. So I ended up getting these job offers, and one with the company I was working at the time, which was Channel 2, and I became the kind of the morning fun guy, entertainment reporter around town. And I just took the big Joe and the Goat thing, went out to the community, and had fun. So I tell people, if you're stagnant in a job search or you hit a wall, find a way to go around that wall. Find a way to do something. Find a way to get over that wall. I was talking to a girl yesterday who was going through a transition. She's like, I recently started taking acting classes. I'm doing a lot more writing. I'm volunteering more. I'm like, great. You're creating this great chaos that people have to recognize you and what you're doing. And so, nothing great ever gets accomplished by sitting on the couch. So get up there. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to jerk you off the couch. Nobody's coming to knock on your door. But here's the best part, Stephanie. The good Lord's already given us everything we need to succeed. It's all inside of us. So once we realize that, we can get up and start doing great things. But also, I can't be successful unless you're successful, unless Justin's successful. I mean, we need to lift up people around us to make this wonderful journey together, because if I'm on this journey by myself and I'm not helping nobody else, then what am I really doing in that? So anyway, that's what the first book is about, and I put it together, and it took off. I mean, it's doing really well. And then a few weeks ago, I wrote book number 2 called Screaming at God. And this book was my brother. I sent it to him. He's like, I'm not going to read it. I don't like the title. I never scream at God. It's been a long discussion about why we scream at God. We're not really screaming at him. Sometimes that's how we talk to him. And so that book's doing really well. So I've been very blessed, and the response has been overwhelming.
Joe, I love it. And I cannot wait to sit down and read your books, but I have to talk about your column. So you do still have a column that you do with Main Street Media.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the fact that you have so many readers there. And I kind of want to go with being recognized as the best reporter and columnist in Music City. What did you think of that? Were you surprised?
I was shocked. I was nominated last year for it. I don't have a platform. I'm not on radio. I'm not on a TV station anymore. I mean, I left Channel 4 in the summer of 2021. I spent 25 years on local TV. So I don't have a platform. But what I realized, Stephanie, is that people still want good content. They want to laugh. They want to think. They want to know what's going on. I've written some columns about the disappearing of Nashville. I wrote a story called A Letter to My Hometown. Like, I don't recognize my hometown anymore. It's gone. And the response to that was just overwhelming. I was in the paper and all the Main Street publications. And so it's been going great. But, I got word that came. I didn't expect to win that. It was a great competition. But it just kind of validates that you don't need this massive, huge platform to succeed and be recognized. And I was just scrolling through, and I didn't get the Tennessean even send me an email. And I just read one day. I'm like, I wonder who won that category. And there I was, his best columnist reporter for 2022 in the Tennessean's Best Of poll. And I was just shocked. So it's very humbling, but at the same time, way to go, Joe. Right?
I love it. Yes, way to go. And congratulations on that. And Joe, again, thank you for joining us here today. I hope that we can catch up with you more often. When does your column come out in the paper?
Every Wednesday or third, whatever the paper is around. Some days it's Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever it is. So it's one of those days. But I got to tell you, Stephanie, I mean, I've heard from so many people that read the paper, that read the Hendersonville Standard or the Wilson Post, whatever. It doesn't matter. I hear from all the time that people are reading those. I get comments, and it's fantastic.
Not a thing of the past, not at all. Joe, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you.
Anytime. All right. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to the co-founder of Radio Sobro. He's going to share with us why this streaming radio channel is so important to those of us right here in Middle Tennessee and beyond. Stay with us.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Walmart Supply Center is hiring right now in Lebanon, Tennessee, where you can earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and flexible hours and all sorts of perks like 100% paid college tuition, a 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership, a free Paramount Plus membership, plus you get paid time off and a lot of other things. All you have to do to apply is text JOIN to 240-240. Text the word JOIN, JOIN, to 240-240 right now.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Do you know who you are right now?
Main Street Sports Today strives to bring you the most timely and comprehensive coverage of sports news and more from Middle Tennessee and beyond.
We cover the teams you care about from preps to pros and bring some of the most influential voices in sports to keep you in the know.
Tune into Main Street Sports Today each Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Download the Main Street Media TV app.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. So right now we are going to introduce you to a streaming radio channel with exclusive features from Music City's singer-songwriter community. To tell us all about Radio Sobro, we have co-founder Kyle Creamer with us this morning to share with us how this got started, what it's all about. First off, Kyle, how's it going? Good to see you.
It's good to see you, Stephanie. It's been a while.
It has been a minute. I know you've probably been staying busy with all that you do. So go ahead and share with us how Radio Sobro got its start, where this originated.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for the opportunity to be here. I love what you guys are doing at Mornings on Main Street. And, Radio Sobro started just out of an homage to the Nashville singer-songwriter community. There are thousands and thousands of singer-songwriters here in this community that give Music City its name. And unfortunately, terrestrial radio, mainstream radio has kind of ignored them. If you hear radio across the country, it's the same 30, 40, 50 songs if you're lucky. It's on average been said, at least in Nashville, that 450 to 500 songs a day are written in this town. And so Radio Sobro pays homage to that in a true radio format through our app and our website, radiosobro.com. We're streaming original Nashville music worldwide.
That's incredible. Were you kind of surprised as you guys started to create this, that this hasn't been done already? I think I'm kind of blown away with the fact, we're the soul of, some soul of country music to a lot of other starts. This wasn't already done is kind of surprising.
It is surprising, but the more I started to dig into it and I see kind of why they haven't done it, there's no real format for it. And a lot of radio makes its money through advertising and getting the labels, et cetera, behind them. And we're kind of an engine on our own here, but we found a lot of traction. It takes a little bit of time for people to really start to understand, like, okay, this is a 24/7 thing that's not going away. And so we do it with DJs, the whole 9 yards. And if you stream it for an hour and you hear a song you've heard before, I'll pay you back for your free app you just downloaded, because you're not going to hear anything you haven't heard before or that you've heard before.
What are you hearing from the artists that you're featuring, the singer-songwriters that kind of pour their heart and soul into this music? What do you hear back from them?
It's a lot of thank yous and a lot of why are you doing this? Because again, we're in the music industry is really cutthroat in this town, unfortunately, and in a lot of survival mode for singer-songwriters that play for free and just kind of hope that somebody's going to hear their music. And so we're not doing this to make money. We're doing this to make a difference and to really bring new music to your playlist, whoever you are, wherever you're listening. So give it a shot, because the singer-songwriters are really the ones that benefit from this. We play their music, but then we also pay their royalties for everyone that's listening, for how many times it streams. There's an algorithm and we write a check. So you're helping and making a difference by listening to our platform.
That's absolutely amazing. And I know I had the pleasure of watching and listening to some of the singer-songwriters in person at the listening room. Are you guys still doing live events? And if so, is that the only location or do you have other spots?
Yeah, we were glad to have you, and I'm super stoked that we connected there. But we still do shows at the listening room. We do them at other venues around town. But what we're really trying to do is partner with the singer-songwriter rounds that are already happening, because those people playing at Whiskey Jam or at Nashville Tour Stop or, In the Round podcast or any of these places are the artists that we're playing on our platform. So we really try to team up with what's already going on out there, but we do a few of our own shows just highlighting some of the up and coming singer-songwriters in town.
Well, is there any other little bits of information that you can share with us or that I haven't asked you yet that you want to get out there for those who are watching this?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, again, thank you, Stephanie, for having me on and for your commitment to Nashville. We at Radio Sobro, we truly believe that what makes Music City is yes, it's the big names, it's the Luke Bryans, it's the et cetera, but it's really the people with the heart and soul out playing their guitar, writing songs. And that's what we want to do on Radio Sobro, is give them a platform to be heard. So I just appreciate the opportunity to share that with you today.
Of course, and we were happy to have you on today. Where can we continue to follow the work of Radio Sobro and see where your events are happening?
Yeah, so download our app, the Radio Sobro app, and you can stream us 24/7. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you do your social media at Radio Sobro, and then on our website at radiosobro.com.
Awesome, Kyle. Thank you again so much for your time. Have a good rest of the day and look forward to catching up with you soon.
You too. See you, Stephanie.
See ya. Bye. All right, when we come back here, we have Second Cup of Joe. We listen in on one of their sit downs with veteran journalist Demetria Kalodimos and what she had to share. Stay with us right here on Mornings on Main Street.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
At Miss Lucille's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lucille's. You'll be glad you did.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Join me, Stephanie Miller, each week as we bring you the best of what's happening here in Clarksville. From the work of nonprofits to the latest events, highlights on local businesses, and also sharing you the stories of the beautiful people that make up the Queen City. Well, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Joe Elvis and John Dwyer have a podcast and show called Second Cup of Joe. They have special hourly guests, and a recent guest was veteran journalist Demetria Kalodimos. Now, this is what she had to say when she was talking about her time and her chemistry with the late Dan Miller.
You and Dan together were the Lennon McCartney of Nashville news. Dan was already hugely known and successful in his own right, and it clocked in at least 6'6", 6'7". The guy's a tall guy.
Yeah.
Did you just kind of gel instantly with him?
I didn't even realize how big a deal it was to be sitting next to him until a few weeks in. And I remember when I went back to Champaign and said I had gotten the job, one of the old crusty engineers was like, "That's WSM. Do you have any idea? This is a huge station." I really didn't. I hadn't even done research. Dumb me. But we did. We gelled pretty quickly. And the best way to describe it is the big brother I never had. We truly had that kind of relationship. We had the same humor. We shared the same, sometimes rude sense of humor.
Which is helpful to be in a newsroom because you have to cut the tension. You have to, people don't understand. I used to say that our sports office, whenever we hired somebody, I would say, this is not a locker room. Okay. We're professional. That went out the window. It was just a club, right?
Yeah.
In the newsroom. And you can't tell those stories until later.
Right.
Of all the pranks and things you would say to each other.
But we got when you sit next to someone in that sort of a situation for that many years, you really get that sort of telepathy where you know what the next person is going to do, say, or whatever. And we got to the point where if I so much as moved my finger in a weird way, he'd be like, "What?" We could actually know something was wrong with the other one. We had a lot of hand signals. We had a lot of inside jokes, and it was just tremendous.
It was in the years before political correctness, if you will. People smoked in a newsroom like crazy.
Did you smoke?
Oh, yes, I smoked. What? I hate to admit it. I smoked until the day that they, and Mike Kettering, our wonderful leader, announced on a Friday that on Monday, the newsroom was going to be smoke-free. Nice way to warn everyone.
It's called cold turkey.
Literally, everyone was having a nervous breakdown.
Oh my gosh!
But that's what got me to quit eventually. But when I first got there, Miller smoked, but he wasn't smoking cigarettes anymore. He smoked those cheapo Swisher Sweets.
Oh yeah,
cigars.
Worse.
And if you look back at
backwards
old air checks, like during the break, he would puff on the thing, and when we come back, he'd be doing
Doing
this.
this number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could still see sort of a cloud of smoke rising between us.
Soft focus.
Yeah.
That was fine. I'm going to ask the most trite question, but I have never read anything. I've read a bunch about you through the years, but did anybody approach you when you worked in Champaign, or even before then? Maybe one of your professors. Did you major in business or media?
Journalism.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they ever say, first of all, you're going to have to not go by Demetria Kaladinos?
Oh, yeah. My first job, I didn't go by Demetria Kaladinos.
Breaking news.
Who were you?
Do we have a breaking news stinger? This is good stuff. I did not know that.
Add the stinger.
Yeah.
Beth Smith.
No. And this is actually a not so funny story because they gave me about 5 minutes to decide what this new identity would be. I went by Demetria K.
How do you spell K? K-A-Y?
It was Kaye. Like,
of course it was.
Like it would look real, right? It was such a phony baloney name.
Sure.
But the funny thing was, and I kid you not, the sports guy was Mark Shanowski and my co-anchor was Bruce Jakubowski.
Oh, well, that's
And those guys didn't have to change their names.
Of course not. They're guys.
They're
Yeah, they're
guys.
guys. They didn't have to do that.
And they used to call themselves the Ski Patrol. But I was like, I can't change it to Demetria. I won't know who,
right.
to turn my head.
Right.
But when I came to Nashville, they assumed that I was going to still go by that alias. And I said, really? I can use my own? And the sentimental part of this story, gentlemen, is that when my family came over from Greece, my grandfather at Ellis Island, they Americanized a lot of complicated names. And he was like, no way.
Sure.
We're not changing it because Kalo means good and Demos means like people, like democracy. So good person.
Oh.
Would you change it? Come
Oh,
on.
yeah, you can't make that up.
No.
No, that's good.
That's a great story.
She's absolutely phenomenal. Well, if you're looking to see more of Second Cup of Joe, you can do that by downloading our mobile app. That is Main Street Media TV Mobile. Get it right there on your phone. Again, you'll find more fun, live, local, and positive information on that app. All right, stick right here. We have a little bit more coming up on Mornings on Main Street when we return.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
Okay, let us highlight your birthday and anniversary right here on Mornings on Main Street. Send in your anniversary and or birthday to smiller@mainstreetmediatn.com. We do have one national day to highlight today. I like this one. It is National Compliment Day. So when you're feeling it today, you're out and about, give someone a compliment. Bring a smile to their face. It'll also bring a smile to yours. We hope you have a great Tuesday. Remember, it's always a good day to have a good day. We hope to see you back here tomorrow.